So Chelsea just lost against Liverpool. It's pretty late over here in Dubai right now, but I thought I should make this video when these thoughts and emotions are fresh in my mind. So here it goes. I'm not someone who usually likes to point fingers or to put the blame on someone, but there's one person who is so clearly, the person that we have to blame for this loss against Liverpool, and that person is not any of our players. It is Antonio Conte. I have nothing wrong with the guy. Or I do have some things wrong with the guy, but I do like him overall. I think since he's come to Chelsea, he's done really well. He made some really good signings over the summer. He's kind of reinstilled that belief that we can actually win the league, that we are champions, or that we can be champions. And I think that's really crucial. That's been really crucial. And in terms of points, we've started off the season pretty well. But Antonio Conte, throughout this entire season, actually, it wasn't just this game. But this is something that frustrates. This adds to the frustration that this result has been coming. You could see that this scoreline was going to come, that we were going to lose a game eventually, because throughout this whole season so far, we haven't actually been playing that well. The scoreline has been deceiving, except if you take out that Burnley game, every other game has been incredibly nerve-wracking. We haven't looked that threatening going forwards. We've had no creativity in the midfield. And that's hurt us, and especially, last week against Swansea, that showed, we drew the game, and we had to, climb back to get that 2-2 draw. And I think, I thought that especially after a game like that, Conte would think to himself, oh look, our midfielders aren't doing well. We need Fabregas in the team. We need to make some changes so that we stop performing like this, so that we can actually start winning games instead of drawing, instead of posing no threat at all going forwards. But that was not the case. Before the game even started, I got the notification on my phone with the starting 11, and when I saw that it was the exact same 11 that I started every single game this season, I just thought to myself, this game isn't gonna go well, because these players, now of course there's David Luiz, but in terms of the midfield and the attacking players, they were the same, and that's where our problems really lie, and that's where they have lied ever since the start of the season, and Conte has failed to see that. But you know what? Now, let's give the benefit of the doubt to them. This is a Liverpool game. This is a big game. They're a good team. They've been very good going forward. So maybe he wanted to just add a defensive stability. So he wanted to play Matic as a Fabregas. Fair enough. But let's fast forward to halftime. We're 2-0 down against Liverpool. We are not playing well. Our midfield is unable to even make 3 passes without losing the ball. We've literally had no attacking threat at all. Haven't had any half-decent chances in the entire half. So if you're Conte, you're probably thinking something needs to change, right? We're 2-0 down. We have 45 minutes to get back in this game. Let's make some changes. Let's do what needs to be done to chase this game. And of course, he doesn't make those changes. What I thought of while watching the game was, if we had Mourinho, and I don't want to kind of make this between Conte versus Mourinho. That's not what I'm trying to do. But if we had Mourinho, he's a manager who's not afraid to make the changes when he knows that he's made a mistake in the team selection. And you saw that in the Manchester derby. Of course, he lost the game in the end, but the subs he made at halftime completely changed the game. And I felt like Conte should have done the exact same thing today. It was so clear that Fabregas needed to come on because, as I said, our midfielders couldn't pass the ball. And this is what literally happened for the entire game until Fabregas came on. Our goalkeeper, Courtois, passes it to our central defender. He passes it to our right back. He passes it to our right wing. Passes it to our right back, who passes it to a center back. Passes it to a left back. Passes it to a left mid. Passes it back to the left. And we just kept cycling it like this, with the ball never entering any kind of central area, any kind of area where we could actually pose a threat. And of course, we did score that one goal, but that was about the only half-decent chance we had in the entire game. And what frustrates me even more is that it was so visible to everyone watching the game that something needed to change, that we needed Fabregas on the pitch. But Conte holds off until the 86th minute or something. I can't remember the exact number, but it was somewhere near the 86th minute to actually make those changes. And that frustrates me so much because we just wasted 43 or 44 minutes. I can't do math right now. We just wasted 41 minutes of that second half that we could have actually done something. We could have posed a threat, moved the ball through the middle, actually have some sort of penetration through Fabregas. We're gonna unlock defenses, but no, we wait until the 86th minute to make changes that can actually influence the game. And you could see as soon as Fabregas came on, we started to actually be able to go forward. So you could just see Fabregas could pass the ball, and we actually posed the threat going through the middle. But I don't understand what Conte, what his motives are, and putting on 3 substitutions in the 86th minute and expecting them to do anything at all in the short time that they're on the pitch. I really, really genuinely don't understand that. What do you expect these players to do? In 5 minutes that they're on the pitch. I actually don't understand that. And what adds to the frustration is, as I said, you could so clearly see that we needed a change from like the beginning of the first half, even from the start of the game. You could see we needed a change. You could see we needed certain players on. You could see we should have had certain players off. But he holds off in the 88th minute. And it's not even just this game as well. It's even in the Swansea game, he held off until so long. I remember watching that game, and through the entire second half of the Swansea game, I was thinking, Batshuayi needs to come on. He can actually do something. He can pose a threat, and he's the person we need to score goals and to win the game. And Batshuayi comes on in the 88th minute in the Swansea game. What is your motive behind that? What do you expect him to do? How can he have any influence in the game coming on in the 88th minute? And the same thing goes for today. And what makes today even more frustrating was he had not made a single sub until the 86th minute because he made 3 subs at once. And it was so clear something needed to change throughout the first 86 minutes. And he decided to do absolutely nothing about it. So Conte, if you're watching this video, please have some courage. Stop sticking to the same 11. Stop sticking to a philosophy or something or tactics that clearly aren't working. And put some faith in the players on the bench. Put some faith in the players that aren't playing right now, who everybody knows should be playing. And please just show some courage and make some change in the next game. In the Leicester game, if I see the exact same 11 start the game, and if I see Conte hold off on a sub until the 88th minute, then I'm just going to be absolutely furious. So Conte, this result has been coming ever since the beginning of the season. We haven't looked good. We haven't looked good for going forwards, except for that Burnley game, of course. We haven't looked good. We haven't looked creative. We haven't looked, we haven't looked like a team that could win the title. We look like if we played against City, we'd get absolutely just destroyed right now. We would literally be able to do nothing against them. And we need to have some courage. So Conte, please make some changes.